Alright, what's up guys? So today I've been able to pull myself away from Dota, and to be more accurate, I haven't started any matches today, so I haven't kind of gotten into that snowballing effect of playing until I pass out. Anyway, so what I thought I would do today was to construct a guide to using one of my favorite characters, Slark, and also provide a lot of gameplay footage illustrating the effectiveness of this build. Now, Slark is typically a ganking style character that I almost want to say I play as a kind of a support role. But it's quite possible for him to be the carry on the team if you get enough early kills and you continue to snowball with this character. So, without further ado, my name is Ed, and this is Ed Games Guide to Slark.
Here's a song about the slark. He travels in the dark. He jumps on your head. He makes sure you are dead. Don't fuck with slark, or I'll kick your ass.
Alright, here we go. Now that we're in match, just to provide a little backup to this, I just met several of these guys, the Stash, Kitten Furnace, and I think the QRLX, however the hell you say that guy's name. I think I had just met him the game before too, and I don't know if this ever happens to you, but Slark is a character that I often will play him thinking, I'm going to do really bad, and this is going to be the final game that convinces me that I'm not any good with this character. And I don't know what it is about me, but I've tried to do this a couple times, and every single time I have been pretty much the main guy on the team whipping ass. So, anyway, you can see, here we go, with a guide. I've started out with a magic stick, which I think magic stick, every character should pretty much have this. Then I've got, of course, the tangos and a stout shield. Now, one iron branch, I'd say you probably could forego the stout shield and do 3 iron branches first if you want. But either way, you are going to want to upgrade that magic stick into a wand. I just find it very, very good to go ahead, and as soon as you hit the goal to get those branches, the early stats just really help you out in the game. And of course, the stout shield, you're going to build the stout shield into a poor man's shield. For a character like Slark, the poor man's shield is just one of the most ideal items for the character. It can't really get that much better. We'll just have a little bit of laning in here just to, we'll see, like my axe that I got down here in the lane with me. He's playing like axe, getting aggressive as hell. The centaur is gonna try his little shit, but it's just not early enough in the game for any character to really just come in there like that and dominate anybody, especially not 2 characters. So that centaur is just wasting his mana, really. And in a way, I kind of did too. That was somewhat of a mistake, I guess you could say. But at least it kind of spooked him enough to go ahead and piss off. So this is the ideal situation you want to have right now with Slark, is you want to keep farming under your tower as much as you possibly can. And the reason for this is, obviously, you're in no position to be ganked at this point of the game. Even if the other team had a pudge, it's not like they could really do that much to you this early on. Also, with Slark, your magic stick is mostly going to be used for getting your mana back, because as you may have already found out, Slark's ultimate, which is called Shadow Dance, is going to give you a passive health regen when you're out of vision of your enemies. This makes it really great for Slark's playstyle, which the playstyle I use on him is mostly a hit and run style, where you do as much damage you can to an enemy, then jump back out into the woods and heal. Now you're fighting a semi-damaged enemy with a full health bar, and now you go back on them. Odds are you're going to get the kill that next time. But in any event, it's going to save you from having to spend money on health regeneration items, and it's going to keep you from having to spend your money on anything that you don't need. While we're just in the early laning phases of the game right now, I'm going to go ahead and show you Dark Pact is his Q. Now, you can say Dark Pact is, in my opinion, the ability you should max out second next to Pounce. Pounce is really, I guess Pounce is the one I should really start off with, because in my opinion, it's his main ability. And what you're going to do is you are doing a burst damage by landing on your opponent's head, but you have to make sure you're aiming in their direction, because he will jump straight forward whenever you hit the W key. So it's not going to target the nearest hero or anything like that. It'd probably be a little bit too OP if you did it that way.
Daddy, I hatched my baby animals.
Oh, good, honey. Alright, so W obviously is going to be the skill you're going to want to max out first. Second, I go ahead and put a point into Dark Pact because of the fact that if a character such as Axe or Venomancer throws a DOT on you, you can use Dark Pact to purge any negative effects that somebody throws on you. Now, Dark Pact also acts as an AoE, and it's really good to combine this with your W when you're attacking an enemy hero, because you can hit Q, and since Dark Pact takes a few seconds to actually start up, you're going to hit your Q, then your W, and when you jump on your opponent's head, then your Dark Pact is basically going to take place, and it's going to be 2 instances of burst damage real quick on your opponent, not to mention your auto attacking that's going to be going on at the same time. And I will talk now about Essence Shift, which is Slark's his first passive that you get in the game, and I usually just put 1 point of this in until I max out everything else. And what you have here is Slark stealing enemy stats and contributing to him getting more agility and doing more attack damage. Now, the thing is early in the game, you're not going to be fighting as many opponents. You're going to be ganking 1 or 2 at a time. And I just don't see this as becoming a big factor early on in the game. Because at first, it's good to have it, because while you're still attacking, you'll be stealing their stats and weakening them and making yourself stronger. But odds are you're probably not going to be jumping all over the map in the first few minutes of the game. I mean, I don't even have my ultimate yet, which is what you really are going to want to get your ganks on big time. So we're 6 minutes in. There's no point in putting a bunch of points into Essence Shift. What we want is heavy damage early on. Now, it may be a little bit odd that I'm playing Slark in a laning role and not playing mid this time, but honestly, if you play a lot of pub matches, you're going to run into times where it seems like everybody and their damn brother who plays with you wants to mid. And Slark is one of those characters where it really doesn't matter because he's so fast. Once you get his passive and you go through the woods, you're in the other lanes in no time. So mid, bottom, top, it doesn't matter. Slark's going to haul ass to wherever he's got to go. Which leads me to my next item that I'm going to discuss building, which is phase boots. A lot of characters benefit from power treads. Almost every character can benefit from treads because of the movement speed and the attack speed and the stats. But I feel like phase boots are a better idea for Slark because of the fact that... There we got a nice little kill there. Should have got there a little earlier and maybe my guy would have stayed alive. But anyway, with phase boots, you have a little burst of speed, and if you're playing Slark effectively, people are going to start running away from you. Not to mention the fact that, see, Slark has the best escape mechanisms in the game. I can't think of anybody who can escape better than he can with their own skills. The problem with this is if you're pressing your W or your R to escape, now you're out of mana. So the next time you have to fight somebody, you're screwed. You don't have enough mana to actually continue this team fight. So what phase boots are going to do is help you get back and give you a little escape mechanism. Just that little extra boost of speed will do wonders, I promise. And this way you can conserve your mana, because Slark's mana regen is garbage. You want to conserve Slark's mana as much as you freaking can. Now, what I'm going to talk about now that we've gotten the next item out of the way, is how Slark's ultimate works. And I've already talked about the passive ability that it has, but what else it does is when you actually hit your R, you are basically becoming invisible while still having the enemies know your location, because you produce sort of like a big ink cloud or a shadow cloud around your guy, but they can't target you. They have to have dust or sentry wards or something like that, just as they would with any other invisible character. So basically, for that point of time while your ultimate is taking place, you're gonna have to have either a plan to kill the opponent or to get away, and that's basically what you're gonna be doing with that skill. It's good because while you are invisible in the shadows, you are getting a ton of health regen. So sometimes just being invisible for a few seconds can help you win the fight. But yeah, it's a really good ultimate. It's one of my favorite ultimates in the game because there's not any other ultimate like it, and it just seems to be really effective. I do recommend saving it as much as you can for actual times when you need it, although it's tempting to use it more often than that. So now we're going to go ahead and skip ahead a little bit in the video to where I start building some more items, just to give you an idea of what other kind of stuff you're going to need to build with this character to make him more effective. Okay, so basically for what we're gonna call like our early game play style is going to be play as passively and safely as you can. Try not to use your tangos up. Try to save those magic wand charges if you can. And the primary intention of this is later, once you get your 6, you're not going to need any healing items. So that's going to help you save money to build the items you're going to need for real later in the game. And so this is a way of just saying, don't waste all your healing items early. Don't go all Rambo on anybody yet. Just wait till you get your 6, because if you mess up a jump, you almost get a kill, but you don't quite do it, but you don't want to go on that tower dive or whatever is next. It's fine. You can back up and go in the woods and fill up your health bar in seconds. But early on, you can't do that. So just remember, play passively early. Once you get your 6, then it's Rambo time. Alright, so now we're back in the game, and I'm going to talk about the next item that I'm going to build. Actually, first, I'm going to go ahead and discuss the, I'll discuss the item, and then I'll discuss why that's what I'm choosing. So you can see I bought an Orb of Venom. Now, getting an Orb of Venom early on is great for Slark because of the fact that an Orb of Venom not only adds a dot to every attack he does, but it also adds bonus damage to every attack he does. So you are in effect adding damage to every attack you do, which is going to be great for Slark because you want to jump in there, do as much damage as you can, as quick as you can, and then get the hell out of there before you get ganked or one of the other enemies that's like, you know, up in your business tries to go on you after you've taken somebody else out. So The Orb of Venom is a good item. Early in the game, it's really good. In fact, it may have even been better for me to get it before I finished my phase boots. I could probably suggest that. Now, what else is good about the Orb of Venom is you can get it in the side shop instead of having to go to the secret shop. That's a really nice little thing there too. Now, the reason we're going for Orb of Venom, not only because it's a good item early in the game, but also it's because Orb of Venom is one of the primary pieces of the Eye of Scotty. Now, Eye of Scotty is a pretty expensive item. But, on the other hand, I will say this. I don't think I've ever lost a game as Slark when I bought Eye of Scotty. So, if you're doing good enough on kills, and you can buy Eye of Scotty, I totally recommend it. Eye of Scotty gives you a crap ton of stats. In fact, we'll go ahead and pull a little thing up here and I can show it to you. We're going to go here into the upgradable ones. Eye of Scotty, you see it's one of the more expensive items on the right side. And the passive is great. The passive is so good because you're attacking somebody and you're slowing them and you're slowing their attack speed, which means that if they're running away from you, although now your tether that your W does, which, you know, nails them to the ground, is going to stop them from running much anyway. But if you're chasing somebody and your W's on cooldown, those attacks are going to slow your enemy down and make you able to keep them in sight for your next jump if you have to do another jump. Also, though, the attacks are going to slow the attack speed of your opponent too. And what's good about that is every once in a while as a Slark, you'll find somebody who thinks he's Billy Badass and he's going to take you on even though you did tether him. Well, shit on that. When you got Eye of Scotty, you're slowing his attack so much that he can't do shit to you. You're moving too quick for him. And that's a great item. Now you can see down here the stats that you're getting 25 to all of your stats. Every stat. Now, dexterity, yeah, is your main item, but being that Slark's health pool and his mana pool is kind of pathetic, it's not a bad idea at all to get these extra stats. Even though you think he's an agi hero, he needs agi more than anything, getting strength and intelligence on an agi hero is not that bad a thing. It's good to have him a little bit tankier because you're not always going to have your ult there to save you. You're not always going to have enough mana to do a jump. You may have to just stand and man fight somebody occasionally. So it's good health insurance. And then you can see you also get 250 health and 250 added to your mana pool. This basically makes it to where you don't really need much else as Slark. Once you get Eye of Scotty finished, that's pretty much all you need. It's a fantastic item. I mean, it's really good on just about any character, but I really like it on Slark. It's really good on him. Now you can see at this point we're doing really good. I've got 4 kills and 2 assists, and I haven't died a single time yet. With Slark, see, I really messed that jump up. I was getting a little too ballsy there because I guess with characters like Slark, you kind of have to have sort of an aggressive mentality because if you play too passively later in the game, you'll start falling behind, and you do not want your opponents to start getting kills on your team when you should be getting kills on them first. See, now I've got one of the ultimate orbs. Now I think all I need is just another one of those, and then I'm all set for that Eye of Scotty. And that's another good thing is that while ultimate orbs are really, look at this fast finish, he's already given up. But we are doing extremely good in kills right now. And I'd say even if you're not getting a lot of kills, like 17, okay, I've gotten a third of those kills just for me. But say that wasn't the case, it's still way more important to not die than it is to get kills. Just as long as you can maybe make sure your carries are getting kills or your tanks are getting kills, the people that need them the most. You know, I can say for Slark, I don't consider him to be the character that needs all the kills, but it is really easy to get him with Slark. Here we've got a semi-team fight coming up on here. It looks like they got one of our guys, but we're gonna pursue now. And I would say as a Slark player, it's good to stick with your team as much as possible. Like in that instance where we could tell that there was several of them grouped up, you can occasionally pick one guy off, but due to their placement on the map, the one guy that you may need to single out may be harder to get to than you think, because your W jump is going to tether the first guy you see or the first guy you touch. So you can't jump over an enemy and get the kill. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, you do need a point booster to build the Iascati too. I forgot about that. That's where that mana and health boost comes out of. That's right. But yeah, with Slark, once you get Iascati finished, you're in a really good situation. Especially, this is 20 minutes into the game we're talking about here, and I'm about to build one of the most expensive items that you can buy, so we're in an extremely good spot.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under
Now, a lot of people may try to contest the idea of phase boots versus the power treads, and while the extra attack speed's really good, I find that when I'm playing Slark, the extra attack speed does not get me kills like the phase boots do, because a lot of people forget those phase boots, you get plus 24 damage. That's more damage than you're gonna get just getting 8 agility. So you're getting far more damage. But then in addition, the thing about Slark is we're so early in the game that I don't even have any more points yet into my passive. And the fast attack speed is really good for passive, you know, because every hit you do, you're taking stats and adding to your agility. But as you can see, I'm just now getting my second point and we're 20 minutes into the game. So this is with me getting plenty of kills too. This is getting a lot of farm. So I guess what I'm trying to say is if you want to get kills early on and stay in a good spot early on, not to mention giving you the survivability and the movement speed to catch enemies. That's a good hook right there. I was coming over there to help him, but all I got was poisoned that time. See, I've gone ahead and ulted, which is making me invisible. But the problem is, Naga Siren's ultimate just kind of froze me and wasted my ult. Luckily, though, I had my phase boots and my W on cooldown, so I could jump out of there and get the hell away really quick. Now I've got my ultimate orb, the last piece that I needed. I'm just going to go farm these guys for a minute here while I'm waiting on that orb to get to me. The really great thing about it, if you have to jungle with Slark, is the fact that no matter how low your health gets, you can just pop back into the trees, and there you go. See that health? That health is just filling up so fast. One important thing to remember about Slark, though, is any character like Bloodseeker or Slardar that can somehow access true sight to you, whether it be Bloodseeker just seeing you because your health is low, you have to be very careful about that, because if you're jungling and your health gets very low, you're not going to heal because Bloodseeker has true sight of you. So in a way, do not jungle with Slark if the Bloodseeker's on the other team. That's a good tip. And also, if you've been hit with a Slardar's ult, I would recommend not doing anything too crazy, because your passive is not going to work while he has true sight of you. Here's me getting really ballsy again, jumping in here. I probably should have kept auto attacking, but I knew that my mana was getting very low, and I didn't want to waste the life. It would have been easy to get killed right then, and I'd rather not give them a kill. You know, that all goes back to what I was saying earlier. It's better to not die than to just get a kill for, you know, no good reason. See, there we go. I was just patient and hung around. I got another kill.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Trying to think, is there anything else really important to do with Slark? I guess all I can think is use the extra movement speed that your passive on your ultimate has and your phase boots to move from lane to lane as quick as you can, because a lot of players seem to disregard their lane unless they're the one that need help. How's a better way to say that? Most of the time, people do not consider ganks unless they are the lane that needs a gank. I'll put it that way. So what I try to do as a ganking character like Slark is to make sure you look down here at your mini map, and say I'm in the bottom lane, you want to be keeping an eye on that middle lane and that top lane even more than your own lane, especially once you get your 6 and your movement speed dramatically increases, because whenever they get close to your towers, which would be, you know, right about in here and right about up there, once they get really close to your towers, that's when you want to come sneaking up behind them and jump on their head. Remember, you're going to pounce. Well, first you're going to hit your Q, then you're going to aim yourself towards them, then pounce on them. So you're talking burst damage, then you're tethering them to the floor for you to do the last couple hits you need to kill them. A lot of times with Slark, they'll almost break away about the time you're killing them, and that's where the phase boots come in really handy, is because of the fact that you are going to need to catch them. Your W is going to be on cooldown, and you can't do shit about it. And there's been times where I just couldn't stand the fact that I almost got a kill, but it just got ruined because of that. Now, as you can see, the next item I bought, since farm was pretty good and I've been getting a lot of good kills and not dying, is a Hyperstone. I got a Hyperstone first because this is one of the items you're going to have to buy out of the secret shop, and I think it was just convenient for me to go ahead and get that one first. That way, maybe I think I was just kind of close to the shop or something. But with the Hyperstone, I'm going to be obviously upgrading that into a Mjolnir, and this is what's going to happen. Now that my passive is maxed out, it's good to have attack speed, because now I'm going to be able to attack real quick and have that passive and save those stats for the next team fight, because as you can see on your passive description, the duration is 15 seconds at level 1. So level 1, I'm not going to be doing crap. Not with this passive. 30 seconds, 60 seconds, and then 120 seconds. So that's 2 full minutes of stats you're going to have when you get level 4. So that fast attack speed is going to really be good now, because every attack I do on this Naga Siren, now I'm going to be saving those stats. There's one stat up. I got froze by her ult. So she had to ult just to get away from me, because she was stupid enough to go under my tower. But let's see here. Now we've got her. Okay. Now I've got three sets. What is it? Is it 3 agility? I forget. 9 agility. So I'm stealing 9 agility right now. And as long as I'm alive, I'll have that agility. Now what we're gonna see though is once my attack speed keeps getting faster and faster, you keep doing attacks, and even if you can't survive the fight and you have to run away, those stats remain on your character for so long that the next fight you run into, you're gonna have those stats. And with your attack speed being boosted by Mjolnir, it's just gonna be really easy to keep your stats, you know, boosted up, keep your attack power boosted up. And it's basically, Aya Scotty and Mjolnir on Slark it's a one game.
Barracks are under attack. Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
And so it's pretty early on in the game, and we're pretty much done here. I don't really see very much point in pursuing just watching the game be finished. All it is, you can obviously guess at this point. All it's going to be is just their enemies saying fast finish please, and then of course they're asking for a fast finish, and they keep wanting to fight us and defend their base anyway. And yeah, that's what people do because they're stupid. And see, here he goes again, asking us to finish the game, but they keep fighting us. I don't know why people do that. It's really funny to me that they ask you to finish, but then they keep fighting you and make it longer to finish. But what you end up having happen, of course, is they are basically feeding at this point, because nothing they can do is going to stop what we're doing. I mean, all they're doing is just prolonging it, which I have no problem with just doing a fast finish. A lot of people really like trolling the fountain and just murdering everybody while they're hiding in there. Of course, Slark isn't a character that can really troll the fountain that good anyway. So anyway, this is my guide to Slark. I think if you play this way and you play nice and passive, and you jump, you carefully plan your jumps, and you're careful about dodging in and out of the shadows like this, getting your health back up, using your phase boots to get away and to chase. This build should work really good for you. And basically, if you just follow the order that I put the points into my stats or into my skills here, you too can be godlike with Slark. So to summarize, when you're playing Slark, make sure you go for those phase boots, that magic wand early on in the game. Play nice and passive so you don't waste healing items and have to buy any more. Once you get your old healing items, they're not going to be a thing you're going to be worried about. Build that Eye of Scotty, build that Mjolnir later in the game, and you're all set, man. That you don't need armor with Slark, because you can just turn invisible and they can't do shit about you. So try the build out, see what you think. Have fun. My name is Ed, and this is Ed Games. See you later, guys.